take 5. Because, yeah, I suck at making videos, and it's, like, so much going on in my brain. Now, greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Planet Alien. I hope you enjoy your stay. I gotta get, like, an alien green screen, so you guys can just be, like, in Galaxy World with me. I know I'm weird. I don't know. Let me get a cup of my coffee. I should warn you, this video might be long, but that's only because I want to touch on a lot. So if you love Riverdale, if you love Barchie spoilers, if you like to hear my new revelations about people, then you're going to like this. So I hope you stay till the end. I will try to make this as short as possible, but let's jump in. Okay. So I want to first I first want to talk about Jughead Jones. I posted my last video, Team Jughead Jones. Now, I love Archie. I do. Right now, he is really pissing me off. I will say that. He is literally pissing me off. When he cut the chains off Jughead, I was like, and then he pushed him. No. You know, because like I've said, I relate to Jughead, okay? I feel like I am the girl version of Jughead. Not completely, but I have a lot of his characteristics that he has on the show, you know, Jughead. So, it's not that I chose Team Jughead Jones because, you know, like, I relate to him. It's because in this moment, I'm on the south side, you know? I'm not for this prison. I'm not for Archie being a Pyram's ass. I'm not for any of that. I'm for the south side keeping their home. I'm for the south side keeping their school. I'm for the south side having a place to call home. Like, you know, I'm just on the south side's side because I just don't see any good about bringing a prison and putting all these people out of homes. But, sorry, don't worry, they'll get a bunch of jobs. I'm sorry. Yeah, while living above a prison and going on your balcony and seeing all the prison mates outside playing. And it's like, I won't even get started because it's like, I get so upset. But I just wanted to say that I am Team Jughead Jones right now because I am on the south side in this fight. I am 100% on their side. I don't agree with anything Archie and Hiram have to say, you know, and even Veronica. Oh, that's what I forgot to say about Veronica. Okay, I've gotten a new perspective about Veronica, and I realized that she is at fault for something she does. I will say that. You know, she didn't have to lie to her friends. You know, she could have easily told them the truth, but she was trying to keep the peace. But it's like it didn't help. And I understand wanting to try to keep the peace, but at the same time, you're making your friends not be able to trust you, you know? I mean, if they can't trust you, then how can they be friends with you? I'm not saying they're going to stop being friends, Betty and Veronica. It's just like when you can't trust someone, that's not a friend you really stick close to, I guess. I'm not saying they're going to separate or not be friends anymore because it seems every other episode they make up. So, I mean, surely they'll make up after this, but then again, there's going to be a lot of hostility between Veronica and Archie running and Betty and Jughead, which I never thought I would say. I'm on Team Bughead. Not couple-wise. I am an Archie and Betty shipper. That's not changing, even though Archie's being a stupid douche. That's not changing. But I am on Team Bughead to win student council. Like, even if it's not Bughead, let it be Josie or not Reggie. Maybe not Reggie. Let it be Josie, or I honestly think Jughead would be the perfect one. Like, he would make this school right. You know, he would tell the truth. You know, like, Jughead would be perfect for this. And if Veronica and Archie win, I'm gonna be like, what the? There's no way they win. Like, unless her dad starts buying votes. I don't know. But there's just no way, especially after last time with Ethel and Josie. Also, I want to say, Ashley Murray is not Josie McCoy, okay? She is not Josie McCoy. Because, you know, it sucks that our fandom is like this, but it's like people are adding her saying you're a bitch, all this stuff, and it's like, do you realize my name is Ashley? I am an actress. I play a character named Josie McCoy on Riverdale. I do not write what she says. I just act it out. And yeah, you can say that was a bitchy move, but I applauded her for it. I don't even care if I get hate. I applauded her for it because people deserve to know the truth. I want to know the truth, which I already did, but those people needed to know the truth. Not just blindly follow her and then figure out that all these lies that have been built up were told by her. So I was okay with Josie doing that. Honestly, I was happy she did that because I wasn't for the milkshake, but I did believe that people needed to hear the truth and read the truth and see the truth. And I think that's something that was needed, you know? So, I mean, but what I'm talking about, Veronica, is I noticed that, like, I've seen on Tumblr and stuff, and it really is. If you watch some of the scenes with Hermione and Veronica and Hiram, Hiram can get very upset to the point where you do see kind of like a terrified look in um Veronica, kind of like, oh God, like, oh God, he's upset because could you imagine if she said Archie did it? Because that would have been done for. But yeah, so people were pointing out that she seems to be like not mentally abused, not physically, but there's just something going on there. I think she's afraid of her parents and she's afraid of if she doesn't do what they want, that it could get a lot worse. And she's trying to keep the peace, which I applaud her for. But at the same time, you didn't have to lie to your friends. You didn't. I mean, that was just to protect your family. But that goes to show you at the end of the day, I guess your family comes first, which it should, of course. But does she agree with what her dad's doing? Because we haven't actually heard. I mean, yeah, she's helped them, but does she actually think this is a good idea? Because I don't. I mean, I don't know how Archie thinks. Like, Archie thinks that by building this prison, it's going to help make sure no one else gets shot like his dad did. But it's like you're bringing criminals even closer to you. So, how does that help? And this person, this Black Hood, wasn't, or he might have been in prison, but it's not like he was in prison and came over and started killing people. So I don't see the point in that. Now, moving on to. Okay, I want to move on to the Black Hood real quick because the Black Hood is coming back in the second half of season 2, I believe. Like coming back later in the seasons, which I cannot wait. Like, I know I feel like I'm wrong because they were saying there's like three suspects they narrowed it down to and stuff. They want to give who, but three suspects they narrowed it down to, and I'm like, ooh, like who could it be? Okay, this is where my conspiracy theory comes in. What if we all know Betty has a darkness inside of her? Now, how crazy would it be? They can't do this because then Betty's character is destroyed. But how crazy would it be if the Black Hood was actually Betty Cooper? What if everything that the Black Hood did was going on in her? See, that's the only thing. Like, I feel like, of course, the person who is the Black Hood looks nothing like Betty Cooper. But it's like she kept the ski mask and she has this darkness in her and she looked into the fire. And it's kind of like, I feel like, I know it's not going to go this way, but I kind of feel like the Black Hood storyline is like kind of made up in her head, and but it had to have happened. It's just like I don't know. There's just I feel like something, like conspiracy theory. I'm sorry, but I just feel like maybe the Black Hood is Betty. Maybe she was the Black Hood all along. But then if they catch him, the Black Hood, whoever it may be, if it is Betty, then that's done for her character. So I don't see that happening. It's just a conspiracy theory I was thinking of. Sorry I didn't explain it better. It's just, weird. There's some certain, like I was watching videos of Betty Cooper, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, like, she there's a special connection between her and the Black Hood, but I don't know how. Like, I'm so curious as to who this person is. Like, if it turns out to be Hal, I am gonna be like, are you kidding me? Like Sheriff Keller would have been way more believable, which it still could be Sheriff Keller. But then again, Kevin's gonna be all alone unless his mom comes back. But then again, Sheriff Keller, I like him, you know. But he could be the Black Hood. Just saying. Like I'm so curious who the Black Hood is. All right, I'll get off that. I'm sorry I'm talking too long. But let's move on. Oh, let me get in this real quick. Nick St. Clair is coming back. I don't know what episode he's going to be in, but him and Camila were filming each other, you know, in Booth That Pops. So I'm very interested to see why he's back. Is it because he wants vengeance? Is it because he wants to, like, yeah, I don't really know. Because, I mean, even telling Veronica that they did this, she would just be like, oh, well, that sucks. You know, like, unless maybe she wouldn't be anymore, but I don't see that happening, why she would change. So I'm very curious as to why Nick St. Clair is going to be popping up. Because, like, I really want to know, like, what's going on with Nick St. Clair? Like, not saying I don't like seeing him, because I do love Grant Phillips. It's just like, what's going on? What if he's the Black Hood the whole time? No, he can't be. It's just like it's so confusing because I still think Tall Boy was hired by Hiram or someone was, but it looks like Tall Boy, and they're the ones who shot Fred. But it's just if you look at the first attack the Black Hood did, it just was so out in the open, and it was a robbery, but then it was just very strange things compared to all the Black Hood murders where people were just shot in their car. So it's kind of very confusing as to what's going on, like who, the Black Hood could be. I mean, did Hiram have Fred shot by this guy in the Black Hood? And then someone just decided to continue on with it, or they decided they had to kill Miss Grundy to make it look like it was a serial killer, or it was something else, or and they just continued on doing it. But Hiram really wouldn't know anything about her, and neither would Tallboy. So it leads me to believe maybe someone decided, oh, I'm going to pick this up where they left off and I'm going to be the Black Hood. And it's just, I don't think it's Chick, but who's to say it's not one of Chick's clients? Like, I don't know. There's just so many possibilities. I'm torn between Tallboy and Sheriff Keller because they have the look. Especially Tallboy. They definitely have the look. So those are my two suspects. And Hiram, of course. I feel like he's somehow involved. I could be wrong. The writers probably won't do that, but I feel like he's somehow involved. I'm sorry I'm talking. But okay, moving on. So, I was off Twitter for a while. I don't know if I said this earlier, but so I missed a lot of the spoilers for 218, so I made sure to write them down and try and get them all for you from you guys. So I hope I got them all because I'm making this video and then posting it, and I hope you enjoy it. But Archie and Betty do have a singing duet together, holding hands. Because, I mean, when I heard that Veronica and Betty could be singing the duet, I was like, no, no, no. That makes no sense. And that would be like shitting on us Barchie fans yet again. Like, I don't know why it is Barchie's such a touchy subject. I don't know. I don't know. Because, they have no problem talking about Bughead and Varchie, but, um, Bughead. See, it's so hard. Bughead and Varchie. When I say Varchie, I kind of feel like, did I say Barchie? But no, Barchie is like very hard to get anything out of. Like, I don't, I don't know if we're waiting for this big woo or what, because they keep that fucking shit under lock and key. Like, we don't really get any pictures or hints. We did finally get that picture of them as their characters in the play, which I'm so excited because I mean they're going to be singing a duet together, looking into each other's eyes, holding hands, and possibly kissing because it would make more sense if they did kiss. They are an iconic couple, so you would think they'd kiss at least once. So, I mean, I am ready for that. Like, I can't wait to see them sing together and hold hands. And oh my god, Veronica and I hope we get to see Veronica and Jughead and their faces during the scene, which it is acting, but then if they do have to kiss, maybe the kiss is a little longer than it should be, or maybe the kiss, you could just tell. But then again, like I said, you go into episode 19 and the triangle starts, and, it's like, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale. So is it, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together it's like, but how when apparently Betty and Jughead are still together in the season finale? So is it Betty, Jughead, and Archie triangle, or is it Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead uh, triangle, or is it uh, Archie, Betty, Veronica triangle? Like, because apparently, like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, because if they're still together in episode 19, and one of these writers for TV Guide and shit said that Bughead fans are going to be very happy, especially at the end of the episode, and it's kind of like, that doesn't, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, how do we start the triangle in episode 19, and yet season finale, Bughead's still together? So is it just doesn't make sense to me. So is it like we're waiting until season 3 to start the triangle, and then we have the whole season to have Archie back and forth, back and forth? It's just, I don't know. Things aren't adding up, and things I read and heard aren't adding up to other stuff. Like, you watch an episode and you're like, how do we go from this episode to 2 episodes later when the triangle apparently starts, and yet then we find out Betty and Jughead are still dating by the season finale? It's like, did I mean, it just makes no sense. So I don't know what's going on with this triangle. It's honestly confusing me so much. I wish I could just get a straight answer. Is the triangle starting in episode 19? Yes, no? Like, that's it. Just let me know if the triangle's not happening so I can move on and start thinking of other things. Because it's like, damn, we hear the triangle's going to start, and then everything else that we've heard is Bughead still together, all this shit. Varchie's still together, and it's like, and then you hear that Betty breaks up with Jughead and Archie goes after Betty, which does sound a little, odd, because that's not really how they are. At least you wouldn't think so. But now you have Betty and Jughead happy by the season finale, and it's kind of like, well, there clearly can't be any triangle unless the triangle lasted for like 2 days and then Betty just went back to Jughead, which would make no sense again. So I feel like the triangle doesn't start till season 3, and then we have the whole season to go on. Like, I feel like they start in episode 19, and I want to keep the hope alive. And I feel like something big happens in episode 18, but at the same time, I've been let down so many times, and I don't know, I don't want to get my hopes up. Right now, I'm just kind of torn between, is it going to happen or not, because things are just not adding up right, and it's just not making sense. I guess you have to watch the episodes first to see the sense that it's trying to make, but right now it's making no sense to me. Now, also another thing is in 218 is Betty tells Veronica off. Now, I didn't get to find this video. I looked, but I didn't get to find this video. And so apparently Betty tells Veronica off in 218. I don't know what that has to do with anything, possibly about her dad, and what he's doing and what she's doing. Like, I think it could revolve around that. I just hope that episode 18, they finally talk about I feel like they're not even going to talk about the kiss. Like, I'm not losing hope in Barchie. It's just like, I have all these thoughts in my head and all these things I think will happen. And it's just like, deep down, I kind of know they're probably not going to happen, not the way I want. Especially with everything being said and posted and everything not adding up. And it's kind of like, we're playing a game of cat and mouse, like, I don't know a better way to say it, but it's like we're trying to find the littlest clues in these paragraphs that point to the triangle happening or that point to Archie and Betty happening, but it's non-existent because we're constantly every day being told something new, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, okay, so yeah, uh, I talked about the Black Hood, holding hands, Veronica, not her fault. Betty tells Veronica off in 218. Okay. Also, this person said, so Archie will be single in the season finale. Ju- Jughead, you're done by, Jughead. Okay. Jughead, you're done by season 3. Archibaldo, I don't know, is coming to get his girl, Elizabeth. I said what I wanted to say. Okay, so So basically, this person is saying what I read, which is that, oh, well, I didn't read that Archie would be single in the season finale. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know Archie was going to be single in the season finale. So maybe after episode, sorry, maybe after episode 18, that's when him and Veronica break up because she sees that there's still feelings between Archie and Betty. But then Betty and Jughead stay together. And then it also, like she said, Jughead, you're done by season 3. Um, like I said, I read that Betty breaks up with Jughead and that Archie is coming after Betty and stuff. But at the same time, this person's saying, Jughead, you're done by season 3, which could mean by the end of. See, but that wouldn't make sense because by the end of this season, they're still together from what I've read and heard from actual people who know. And so that wouldn't really make any sense. I mean, you're done by season 3. Maybe by the start of season 3, they are done. I mean, maybe it's time we move on to the Triangle people. But, one little other thing I wanted to put in there is Hermione and Fred. Now, I okay, I went from season 1 loving Alice, or not loving Alice Cooper, loving Hermione Granger, disliking Alice Cooper. I went from season 2 to loving Alice Cooper and extremely strongly disliking Hermione. But at the same time, this was posted on Twitter, and I had to say I agree. I would love to see them together. Um, I would love to see Hermione and Fred back together. I know a lot of you probably don't agree, but she was a different person with Fred. She wasn't so uptight. She was free. It's like there's no love, I feel like, in the Hiram and Hermione relationship. It's just all business and power. It's nothing really family oriented. So I feel like Fred would be someone so good for her. Fred, but then again, it's also, Marisol said, after the mayor thing, she could easily take him down, and it's like that's going to cause problems, and I don't know if they'll ever get back to the place they were. And that's sad, but at the same time, I hope they do, like Marisol said. I hope they do. Because they dated before, they have a history, but on even that, I think Fred's such a great person and he would be great for Hermione. And I just think she's in a super toxic relationship with Hiram. Honestly, when it was just Hermione and Veronica, they were good, they were fine, they were nice people. And then Hiram comes back and it's a lot of death and it's a lot of secrecy and it's a lot of things going on that weren't going on before, you know? So, like, even though Hermione right now, I dislike her so much, she pisses me off, I want her to be happy. Same with Veronica, I do want her to be happy, but at the same time, I want her to see that her dad is not this good person, that I want her to see that she needs to do something, that this isn't the best way. Like, she can't honestly believe this is the best way. I mean, I guess she does, but it's like, what about your friends? It's like, are you willing to give up these friendships you've made for a prison to be built because they're your family? I understand sticking by family, but I feel like for her, she feels the need to stick by family no matter what. And she also wants to keep the peace because she knows how her father can get. But at the same time, you could have still told your friends, you didn't have to hide that part. They would have understood. I feel like Jughead would have been a little pissed, but they would have understood, I'm sure, if you would have told them a little earlier than them finding out from Ethel. But yeah, so that is what I wanted to say. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. I hope I talked about everything. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the spoilers that came out, and of course, you guys have all seen the picture already. Well, I already said this, I think, but this is like my sixth video, so I'm sorry if I don't know if I've already said this. But of course, we got the picture of Betty and Jughead, Betty and Archie as Sue and Tommy. Oh my God. Did you see Archie's hair? It was like some Justin Bieber shit. I was like, oh. Like, I am so stoked. Like, this is gonna be so amazing. They're holding hands. Like, they're holding hands. They're singing a duet together. You know how romantic that is for some people? Like, I feel like episode 18 is really going to be the turning point, but at the same time, the writers can tend to light us, can tend to let us down or shit on us, Barchie shippers. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to keep my positivity, but I'm also going to put out there things I have on my mind and that I want to say and that I need to get across. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't have all the spoilers. I tried to get as much as I could. Um, I just been gone for a while, so I'm really sorry about that. But I still hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I will talk to you guys again so